Hello, everyone. I've just started an ad hoc broadcast. I'm just trying to get Trish on as a guest. I'm not sure which connection I'm using because I've actually started it a little differently this time. It's not scheduled. I went straight into a broadcast. So I'm hoping that Trish is in the show. As number, I'm not sure which. We'll come across something that's going to work in a minute, and I'll
Here we
drop
go.
out whichever one isn't. Oh, wow. Hi, Trish. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can.
Right.
Hi, everyone.
Right. Hello, everyone. I'm not sure where this is broadcasting to at the moment. I'm pretty sure I did it through the My Time Live TV, which is the usual way that I've created a broadcast currently through the BeLive.tv platform. I've done that this time too, to those who are out there and watching. Hi, Leanne, and you changed your name from the My Time Live. It can be very confusing, this. Sorry, Trish, at how confusing this can be, because we've only had the one practice. And yeah, My Time Live. I think I did post the link to this broadcast in my personal profile that we're going live, but it had absolutely no pictures that identifies it as being us, either you, Trish, or myself, unfortunately. I did have a little bit of a problem trying to do the scheduled production scheduled broadcast in the BeLive TV platform, so I just went for not scheduled. We're on. So how are you, Trish, since we last spoke?
I'm fine, thank you, Roz. And I don't know how to put the link onto my page. I haven't really done any of that, so.
Oh, right, yeah. Look, it's something that you can do after.
Yeah.
Yeah, there'll be different people watching it and learning about you, Trish, as the owner and the main component of. I wrote it down. Where to put it? Integration for Life. And that's your business page on Facebook, isn't it? It's Integration for Life.
Yeah.
And
Integration for Life came up as a part of the fact that I'd done a lot of transpersonal self-development work. And the part of that learning for me was that the main thing about being a human being was being able to integrate everything within us and be the observer of our life. So that's why I called it that.
Yeah. That's a great name too. I just didn't manage to put it down in any links or the description or anything yet either. And the purpose that you're doing what you're doing as well. I mean, that's something, because we each have different purposes, reasons behind why we do what we do. And it's something I just thought, it was the other day really that I actually had thought of doing more of a, not an outright interview style, but having people to just ask, why do you do what you do? And, what's your current, where you're at with life in doing that, and what's your future plan? So I just wrote down those 3 questions really at this point in time while I was quickly trying to get us going to the live. So, and I know from our friendship and where we grew from in meeting up at, it was the training that we did, wasn't it, for the sound therapy, the diploma in that, the group first and then the personal stuff.
And definitely through the sound therapy,
Yeah. So, and it's something we've kept connected with over time, and even, I wouldn't say stalking each other on Facebook or anything, but certainly keeping connected and bumping into each other with various things, and more people coming on saying hi. So hi back. So it's great to see some people live here as well. So yeah.
I'm just going to try and get these glasses on properly.
Yeah, and just a nice little tilt. Yeah. To me, they're not reflecting. I can't see that they are reflecting, so it looks all good from here. on the little screen that we have as our gauge in the background. So hopefully it's showing out really well to those who are watching live. I'm sure Leanne would let us know. Won't you, Leanne? So actually, I know what the sound therapy or sound means to me, but because I had personal experience myself of having that healing effect when I was having heart palpitations many years ago, I'd hum. And that's what started me on my path and journey into looking into the sound and how that heals, rather than just being something pleasant to listen to or unpleasant, depending on whether it's noise or whether it's music or, you know, the sounds that we've learnt as far as toning and things. That's been my own personal experience and why I went into doing the sound course and that. But I'd actually like to hear from you what your story's been in, you know, what does it mean for you, the sound and the healing, and where it came from.
Well, actually, Ros, it came through from an awakening experience I had back in 2009. Like, I've always had a really great voice, but I've never really felt comfortable singing in a band or singing in general English words, so to speak. And that will make sense in a minute when I say English words. But yeah, I've pretty well struggled with actually singing in a general normal term of being in a band or singing with a piano or whatever. So I've got no musical background whatsoever. But when I had this awakening experience that came right out of the blue in 2009, it really catapulted me into a very high dimensional state for about 9 months. I had about 3 months of Kundalini surges, and it was pretty phenomenal. It was quite a huge experience for me. And at the tail end of that, I received these sacred geometry burnt fire letters into my consciousness, 3 on one side and 2 on the other the next morning. The first morning I started in the early hours of the morning when Spirit's very close to us and very connected magnetically to us. And I started to sound in these very high angelic tones. Now, I've been told I have quite a range, but I always pretty well stuck to the lower tones and pitches, and that's where I felt comfortable. But I was actually singing in these very high angelic languages, I suppose, in other languages. And I was a bit like, oh, wow, well, that's interesting. And then the next morning, the 2 other codes come in, I started to fluently speak in tongues. So I was speaking in angelic words, vibrations, and that was really how I started into sound and vibration and frequency. And as I was coming back down into my density of my human self again, in a lot of tears, mind you, because it was very nice where I had been. Nice and cozy up.
Yeah.
I started to just be guided, I guess, into where I went with that. And I got drawn towards the Himalayan singing bowls. So I bought about 5 of them straight up. This is over the next few months. Obviously, I was just, getting used to what I was doing, trying to find some purpose or reason behind what it was. I did know that I'd been woken up to perhaps my service and my gift. I knew that that's what it was about and why I had to be taken on such, high levels to be able to receive those sorts of codes that I got. And so then I started to just sit in my lounge room at night and just before bed, switch the lights out, and I'd tone with and overtone and harmonically sing with my bowls, sending the energy out to the ley lines and song lines and to the planet and humanity. And that's really how I got into sound. That's how it started. So it was sort of like an awakening experience to wake me up to my gift of service, what I came here for. And from that, it just sort of grew, and it was like I'd come away from a session. I started doing meditation groups and things like that with the sound. And each time I'd come away after it and go, now, I don't know why I did that. That was something new that I started doing. What was that about? And I have to really go in to be in tune with what that message was about, why I had changed how I was doing things, like playing the bowl in front of somebody and sounding in these languages and singing them. And it was like, that was singing their soul song to each person. Oh, okay, no, well, that's interesting. And then it just gradually grew, and then I bought my bowls, my crystal bowls, and then I got a few more. And I suppose it was about that time, a year or so after that, Heather Fran had opened up having these qualifications through the British Academy of Sound Therapy. And I decided, even though I had been already doing the sound in the format that I had, I just felt it was like a duty of care for my clientele and people coming to me, and also of interest to me, to being not musically background, to know what was I playing? Was I playing this bowl and this bowl? People would just ask me on my album, because I did an album in 2012 and I channeled that through and recorded it myself, and people would say, oh, you're harmonising in a perfect fifth. And I'd go, oh, that's fantastic. What is a perfect fifth? I had no idea. I'm going, oh, that sounds good. I don't know what that means. So that was the reason why I really went ahead to do the course and to get qualified as a practitioner for groups and for treatments, because I just felt I wanted to know what I was doing.
Yeah.
I have more understanding.
It really, it was really good doing that training, I have to admit, for myself even. That experience was, probably not out of this world, but it certainly did expand where we were at the time with what sound was. You mentioned toning earlier. Is that something that you actually did any learning on when you were doing that with your Himalayan bowls at the time, or it's just something that came to you at the time, you open your mouth and you did toning? Interested to know.
Pretty well. Yeah, pretty well. It was just intuitive with whatever came out. I mean, I still get quite amazed by what comes out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Not literally in English words, but in many other words, and also in my voice. Because I don't really tune into too much before I go into my sessions or warm up. Very naughty of me, but I'm just able to go straight in there. And it's funny, if I tried to sing a normal song or sing for the amount of time that I do, like I do in my sessions, I don't think I could. But yet when I step into channel, it's just automatically there I am.
Yeah, quite different. And yes. And I know from experience, having been part of your sessions and hearing your beautiful voice, certainly channeled. Just going to acknowledge Keza saying hi, and Sharon, she's on in the chat thingy too, and Natasha. So it's wonderful seeing those names there too. Hi to you. So, just having a chat around sound therapy, what it means for Trish mainly, because I'm really interested to see what your journey has been, which you've shared part of, and what actually have you been doing currently. The training that we've done, there's been odd times where I've caught up with you over that time. So from then, really, what have you actually been doing and growing that for yourself and your customers? Is it customers, clients, clientele, whatever?
As you know, I got quite ill just about the same time as we had to do our exams, and I went overseas to India and came back with typhoid and septicemia. So I nearly passed off this planet. It's like that completely high of extremes in the other level, and then the nearly near death of the other. It's neither good nor bad, just is, but all learning experiences. So that sort of knocked me out of the system for a while. But what was interesting about that time and process for me was that I was pretty well cut off from the world, and I really had lost my gift. Well, for me, I felt like I had, and it put a lot of fear into me. And so during that time, one thing that did come up as a question to me is, who am I without my service even? And so identity is quite interesting, I think, that we like to, I am a sound therapist, I am a teacher, I am this, I am that. And so it made me really think about that, because, of course, we're way more than that even. We're way more than even what our service. But I think when you get to the bottom line, at least what you have to hold on to is that maybe your service to the world is still something that you can cling on to be able to be acknowledging you as a human being. And so, yeah, it was an interesting time for me. It took a lot of time, and I still do struggle with a bit of like chronic fatigue type symptoms, and immunity has been knocked around quite a bit from it. So having to lift heavy sound equipment and things like that through my muscles that got pretty wasted has been quite a trial for me to get back on the horse and get out there. But I started up at Wollonga with Deanne from Sonic Heart, and Deanne and I just about blitzed, I think, Wollonga. We were getting like full sound groups for 4 months with about 50 odd people. It was like mind-blowing for me, because I'd come out of the ashes really, and I thought that I'd been forgotten. So it was so humbling, so very humbling for me to receive that. And we put it on. We put them on as a really big show, It was quite a big night, really. But of course, with big things like that, you can't maintain it on your own. So I had to drop back, and I sort of started to wonder where my niche was, because I know other people were out there doing their sound and around at different places, and I got a bit lost there for a while in comparison, like, oh, they're getting work, I'm not, blah, 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 where's the numbers, all that sort of thing. And it sort of started to run out, but I now know where my niche is, because I realise how unique I am in what I do. So I had to, it's been a huge learning and growing, and what's the word, confidence in myself to just step forward into what I do, what I offer. And of course, it has come back to the gift I was given originally, which is to speak in the light language, speak in the soul languages, and to do that with the sound. So now I mainly do sound attunement groups. Sound attunement means, obviously with attunement, that's bringing everything back into balance and harmony through sound. And it's more of a personalised one and a smaller group. And I travel all over the place to do that. Mount Gambier, I'm about to head to Bendigo this weekend for 2 weeks to do groups there and a workshop, a transpersonal workshop, because that's one of my other loves. And, so I do go to people's places privately when they book me. They just have to get anywhere up to 8-10 people, and I come to their place. I go to different venues if they ask me, businesses, corporately, private treatments, retreat, which I just did on the weekend up at the Manor with Christine Sinclair.
The photos you shared were so beautiful.
I loved it up there, and I got to do 8 people, half-hour session treatments, and I just loved it.
Yeah. That's the type of thing.
So that's really...
Yeah. Yeah, you keep going. I interrupted.
Thing that's sort of coming to play now. I mean, I really do love doing sound bars and things like that too, but you have to have a bigger venue to be able to do that. So you have to hire out a bit more. Heather and I obviously do Sounds of Samadhi, which will be at Buddha House in November again. So I do that with her. That's really beautiful. But yeah, I'm sort of trying to do a CD again, because the other one has been so long ago. But, you really got to dedicate a lot of time in the recording studio, and if you're mixing it yourself, that's like hours of work. So, but I have a CD if people, want to hear that and have a listen to that through my, just send me a message afterwards.
Yeah. I will just share this comment on the screen from Sharon. I loved it which is meant to be, I think, last month, Trish, and she's already booked in, I know, for your next sound attunement at Strath. So And for the one that I went to last month as well, it really was something that it does get into your soul level when you experience the sound. And that it's not that I'm biased, because it's one of my favourite things. I love doing the sound myself, sound therapy myself. But it's the way that it's individual at the same time as being that group energy. They're activating the beautiful messages that you bring in, each for an individual, but it's for the group. It's nothing that's really actually separate from other things that are happening at that time. And it just blends so well, and you're sitting there in such a peaceful state. It was really wonderful. I'd encourage anyone to go and take part in that. I think, do you have tickets left for that one in Strath at the moment, or is that fully booked out?
I haven't checked tonight, but there was only one left. But yeah, if you go onto the pages, you find them. But yeah, I can check while we're talking here, but I don't really know whether it is or not. Hang on, let me have a little quick look.
You can almost. I don't know where you can put the link to. I suppose it's just back on your own profile or your business page, your Integration for Life. I don't think I can put anything here. One. There you go. Someone can grab that. Yeah.
Well, there's one left.
Yeah. So anyone else that's watching.
I've got one regular one that I do at my home on a Wednesday night, the first Wednesday of every month. But all my events, all my upcoming events are up on my Integration for Life page. If you go over
the link in there. Yeah. We'll actually put the link to your page in my life today. Put in the.
You can just go on the events page.
Yeah. So there's ways of finding. It's ways of finding you. So for anyone interested, even those who are actually coming back in and watching this as a replay, what was just a quick summary of where you're going to be in the next month?
Right, the next month, obviously I'm heading off to Bendigo.
That's it.
On the 19th of August, I'll be doing a one-day workshop there. And then the following Thursday, I've got a private one, but there's still seats available, and she's happy for people to, join on ranks there. But that's at Airport, which is near Bendigo. And that's 11 to 1 and 6 to 8 p.m. And then on the 25th of Saturday, I'll be at a place called Lockwood South Hall, which is just outside of Bendigo, not far. There's 2 sessions there, one at 3 to 5 and one at 6 to 8 p.m. And then the following day, where I'm staying, which is at the Shanti Retreat, which is about, I think, 10 minutes outside of Bendigo in the Wellsford Forest. So it's really going to be a beautiful venue. So, there's spaces for that one in the afternoon. And then after that, it's the one at Strath on the 31st of August. The 5th of September is at my place. And then on the 15th of September, I'm back down at Mount Gambier for the weekend.
Yeah.
So
all round, all round you keep fairly busy. So just as a finish off before we do sort of close off, I'm more interested, that it's wonderful to have things planned in front and be busy and keep active and moving life along. What sort of things is it that you actually enjoy to look after yourself?
Well, I've been on a very good path this last month. I have been able to get off my grains, sugars and dairy. So I've been off of those and I've been able to stick to it pretty well. I mean, every now and again I blow out, but that's all right. That's called holding it lightly, meaning you give it, a bit of space. But I've been doing that. I do walking. I love nature. So anytime I can be out in nature and walking with trees, birds, and the breeze through my hair, I'm very happy. But generally, I don't. That can be normal. Like the last 2 months, I've hardly done anything. So, it's.
I think there's times where we really do need to do that nothing so that we can actually experience that deeper part of ourselves that is, the nothing, where we're not actually having to put in a I am doing, I am being, you're just being. I like those times. I think they're more to be treasured than the times where we're actually busy and doing. Just me, my ideas on it.
I didn't frame it that way, but like I can see now how things have shifted in me. So sometimes you've got to have that space, and so I don't normally give myself too much of a hard run about whether I'm, bringing in money or not. I mean, this is the only way I actually make an income. So I'm actually very well under the threshold of what is normally classed as, the limit to going into being poor. But
look,
every morning, and I don't have to answer to anyone but myself, and I'm the only one that can choose. So if my friend rings up and wants to go and have lunch, I can choose to go or not, and I love that. I don't care.
I think that's more really living in. Yeah, we're living more in where we ourselves are, and authentic is a word, authenticity and all that. Like words that are used fairly commonly. It feels almost like that it's common, if you get my drift. But it's actually where we're living from, with just following what actually is that pathway that is our genuine need to be where we are at this point, to put it out to what the world is, instead of chasing an almighty dollar for the sake of the dollar, which is what a lot of people do. Are they happy? No, I don't know. It's more concentrating on what we ourselves know for us in our part in that, the jigsaw puzzle of life, what we're doing further out and about, isn't it though? Is that how you feel about it? It's not really the chasing stuff that we don't need to chase, but being genuine to ourselves.
Well, I think you just got to trust your path a little bit. I guess out of that experience that I had, that awakening experience, I wasn't doing any spiritual work when that happened. In fact, I was probably feeling a little bit bored with my life, but I definitely wasn't meditating or doing any transpersonal work or nothing, and that just came out. So it gave me a real feeling of what is ordained to be through your contract is going to be ordained to be. So why do we ever really worry too much about what's going to happen? Of course, we're human. We have to live in this world. And, most people would probably feel very unsafe where I am at the moment, because I am like at that poverty line as far as what the government classes. But I don't ever worry too much about spending my money. Of course, I'm mindful of when I've got the money and when I haven't, but I don't stop myself from going for lunch or shouting lunch to somebody else. So I have a reasonably good mindset about my money in abundance, because I feel like that I'm very rich and abundant because of the life I lead, and the fact that I did all my life in the public service since I left school, in the police department and courts department, but was I ever happy then? No, I wasn't.
But you can say that that's the case now then.
Yeah, of course. I'm not saying that I don't skip down in places where I have down.
You mean the hippie thing?
I've had others. I've had near death, like and crippling sort of sickness, like a lot of others too. So I think it's about perhaps, just being really aware that life takes you on these ups and downs. And I quite often say it in my sessions, it's not good or bad, it just is. And we came here for a life experience in this body. So it's only our perception that makes it good or bad. I agree with that.
And
it's not good or bad. It's just an experience we're having. And if we could see it that way and sit back and observe it in awareness like that, we wouldn't get so caught up in the everyday stuff. We would start to feed ourselves a bit more nourishing, thoughts and feelings.
Yeah. Soul food.
Soul food. Yeah, well, whatever. I mean, I like to, my that I use, I like to keep it pretty real. I do a lot of left field stuff, but I like to keep it real because I'm a very practical person, and even while I was having that experience, I had a huge doubter there. So my friends would joke at me when I was doing my transpersonal stuff and say, Trish, unless you were hit by lightning, I don't think you'd believe it, would you? And I went, no. And when that happened, they said, I think you've been hit by lightning. So I'm not a person to just believe everything. So I like to keep everything a little bit on grounded and practical. And I know and I trust and believe that people are at all different levels of learning. And and when one person's up on a high, not to look at them like, oh my God, look at how well they're doing, because we take it in turns. Well, we're up on a high, holding the light for those below us that are struggling. And then when they come up, they do the same.
Yeah. And it is the remembering that those who are at those, the different levels, there's all those different stages that each one's going through. It's an acceptance, understanding that. And understanding too that, we've nearly done the half hour. So we were sort of just going with the flow as to how long we were going to be. But I think probably that's really done what we were going to chat about, isn't it? I was just so looking forward to catching up with you, what you're up to, what you're doing now. So, and we've done that and shared it out is the thing.
Well, I did an automatic writing too.
Oh, so you did manage that? Great. So you want to do that? I'm going to put you on solo so that we can finish the show with that.
And I'll do a little bit of do a little bit of language as well. And thank you so much. It's been great. And thank you, everybody else, for listening. I can't see who's on because it doesn't show me this end.
There's a couple of live viewers. It'd be lovely if for this section that they do share again. That'll be wonderful. Otherwise, we'll just be sharing afterwards as a, the normal posting comments we do through Facebook. And it's all wonderful. It's meant to be as it is. So away you go, Trish.
Okay, I'll just do it then. So if you just want to put your hands over your heart, you can close your eyes and take in the words, or you can just watch me. I'll be reading though. So this is a automatic writing that I did just before the broadcast. I quite often do them, and I'm going to get back to doing them, hopefully weekly, so that people can see them on the live. And so just messages, if it resonates with you, fine and good. If it doesn't, that's fine as well. Just take in the words though, and definitely the languages afterwards when I speak them. Be ever so kind to yourselves. The times of punishment and struggle are nigh. Can you now give yourself permission to love yourself, to see and feel yourself as a divine being you are? So many times before, we have been crucified for our gifts, our sacred learnings and our knowledge. This, though, is not the time to fall into that illusion. The portals and gateways have opened for you all to fully see your truth. Each soul will see each other's, and we will now begin to recognise our brothers and sisters of spirit. Rejoice in the knowing that the heavenly veil of illusion is gently lifted for you. Just say to yourselves or out loud, I am ready, and so it shall be, dear ones. Yes, it is actually that simple. If you find any resistance to what I say, then just be willing to know and see this truth. You are all on a river flowing in one direction to the light. Let go, surrender, and be free.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yela poto yenama, salakila kuntete anamoshaletike. Nalamundo di alamadia, salakatemotia, porapokoya rapushalemta, yenamokasia. So it's seeing in front of you the veil, and just having that vision in front of you of the veil, be that a wall, curtains, just a white color or a color in front of you. And with your intention, just pull or dissolve that veil away. What do you see beyond this veil? Yela sanya kotaya. Yela kituone balepotsiele te kisalamonta belepota. And just imagine yourself walking and stepping through it. Moshalekati nasalete te puta. Sharaka, take back your power. Zemo kome wanakushara. You have come to be of service. Tiusotian petaripo. Your time is now. Silebotame yamukua. You will be so supported in this. Misele vishusiente. Blessings and namaste. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you for that finish, Trish. It really is a blessing having been able to share this time with you on this broadcast, and looking forward to another in the future, not too far away. Thank you.
Thanks, Roz. That was really fun. I enjoyed that, and I hope everybody else that watches it does as well. And hopefully one day soon, if not already, I will see you, all you little beautiful souls again.
Yeah.
At one of my sessions.
Yes, even better. So, yeah, thanks everybody. And I'll end the broadcast now. Look forward to another time joining together and sharing time. Bye, everyone.
Beautiful. Bye. See you, everyone.